Alright, we're going to look at the latitude and longitude worksheet now. Hopefully you've listened to the lecture that I posted on Blackboard. You've reviewed the PowerPoint, so you got pretty good understanding of how the graticule system works, and now we're ready to look at the worksheet. So let's do a few of these together. Alright, let's look at number 1. Number 1A. What error has been made in the following notations of latitude and longitude? Use the highlighter feature in Word to highlight, or if you've printed this, just circle it and explain the problem in the blank. Now what I want you to do is answer these questions, complete the worksheet, place it in your notes for future reference. You do not need to email this or submit this on Blackboard for a grade. You need to save this to study and review for future tests and quizzes. What you will need for a reference in the future is to print this map. So you'll need this map. You don't have to print it, but you'll need access to the map for quizzes and exams. Okay, so let's look at number 1A. So what is the error here? 42 degrees north, 76 degrees north. We know from the previous lecture that latitude is north or south, longitude is east or west, so the directional indicator in the longitude would be the error. Longitude must be identified as east or west, not north or south. Let's do the second one together. 98 degrees north, 16 degrees west. We know previously, right, from the lectures, that longitude is measured, or latitude rather, is measured from 0 to 90 degrees north or south. It can't be 98 degrees. Just think about it. If you go from the equator to the top of the earth, right, you're at the North Pole, you're at 90 degrees north. Now if we walk 8 more degrees, we can't go to 98. We're already at the top. So if we walk 8 more degrees, we're walking off the back side of the earth, or off the back side of the globe. So we wouldn't be at 98 degrees north. We would be going down the back. It would actually be at 82 degrees north. So the error there, latitude is measured from 0 to 90 degrees. Therefore, any measurement above 90 degrees is incorrect. Okay, let's do the bottom part here. Let's look at number 2. Now I want you to make a couple changes to the map before we start. So let's look at, I've made these changes on this map. So I want you to bold in the equator, which you just take a pencil or a highlighter or a marker and bold it in. I have it in blue here, so bold in the equator, which is 0 degrees latitude. I want you to bold in, once you get the equator, bold it in. I'll give you a second to do that. So we're bold in the equator. Then I want you to bold in the prime meridian, which is 0 degrees longitude. I have it marked in red. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and put our directional indicators for latitude and longitude in each coordinate. So for this quadrant where my cursor is, where we have Denver, our latitude, we're above the equator, so we know our latitude is going to be north, right? We are west of the prime meridian, so we know our longitude is going to be west. So write northwest in this quadrant. Let's go over to this quadrant where we have Kabul. We are above the equator, so our latitude is going to be north, right? We're above the equator, north latitude. This time we're east of the prime meridian, so our longitude would be east. Let's go to the bottom right quadrant. We're below the equator, so our latitude would be south. Below the equator, you got a south latitude. We're east of the prime meridian, so our longitude would be east. So write south, comma, east in this quadrant. And our last quadrant over here, where my cursor is, we're south of the equator, so our latitude would be south. We are now west of the prime meridian, so my longitude would be west. So now you have your directional indicators in each quadrant. That'll lessen the chances of you making a simple mistake on the worksheet. So look, get your worksheet out. Let's look at 2A, which is Mexico City. Mexico City, Mexico. So find Mexico City, Mexico on your map. Here's Mexico City. We're going to get our latitude first. So we know it's going to be north because we're above the equator. So here is 10 degrees north latitude, and we're right below the 20, right? So let's say the latitude of Mexico City is 19 degrees north. Let's do our longitude. We know our longitude is going to be west. So here's Mexico City. We go up. There's 100 degrees west. We're just short of 100 degrees. So we'll say our longitude for Mexico City is 99 degrees west. Let's do one more of these together. Let's do Tokyo, Japan. So find Tokyo. Here's Tokyo. Our latitude, we're above the equator, so our latitude is going to be north. So we can say 10, 20, 30, 35 degrees north latitude. Our longitude, we're to the east of the prime meridian, so it's going to be east. We're right on 140, right? 140 degrees east. So we have 35 degrees north, 140 degrees east. All right, so do the rest of those, and then we'll talk about the answers in a few days. Let's go ahead and drop down to number 3, and let's do an example together. Let's do F together. So our latitude for 3F is 38 degrees north. So we go up to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're just going to be just below 40. That 38 degrees, any city on that line where my cursor is going, it's 38 degrees, has a latitude of 38 degrees north. Right through the Korean Peninsula. You probably heard of the 38th parallel, right? In the news, Korean Peninsula is in the news quite often. 38th parallel or the DMZ, that's where they get that number. It's 38 degrees north latitude. Okay, but we're not looking for Korean Peninsula because our longitude is 83 degrees west. We're going to be over here. So we're at 38 degrees latitude. There's 83 degrees west, so they kind of match up right at Moorhead, Kentucky. So 38 degrees north, 83 degrees west, and the city we're looking for is Moorhead. Do the rest of those and put them in your notes. Also try to do number 4 and number 5. I'll post an answer key up for this worksheet, and I'll also post a short video looking at number 4 and 5 to help you kind of answer those later on in the week. While you're working through the worksheet, if you have any questions, email me at joshua.druin@kctcs.edu.